Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so previous period we discussed about the changes, what all changes happened after October Revolution or incidents, what all happened after uh, October, and what was the changes in the sense, especially, that private property that was abolished, banks and industries that was nationalized, and even the lands were distributed to the people. Then Bolsheviks, they renamed their party. What was the name of the party? Which name they took? Russian Communist Party. But at the same time, you know that in the election, what happened?
Failed to
Yeah,
gain
they didn't get the majority. But what happened? He dismissed the Constituent Assembly and he said that the Socialist Communist Party is the more democratic one. So Soviets are more democratic one. And he continued. He made war. He made peace with Germany. Till there, I told you. But hereafter, you can see that Bolsheviks, they became more and more powerful in Russia. They are the only one party who have power in the government, okay, or all the Soviets, or they became the parliament of the country, or all the power, it was in the hands of Bolshevik party. So the system is slowly changing, you can say. So Bolsheviks became the only party to participate in the elections where the Soviets are there, and they became the parliament of the country. So it is like somewhat Russia has become a one party state because only one party is more and more prominent now. Now, during that time, trade unions were there, and they kept these trade unions under control. You know that trade
I
union
just joined now. Could you please explain?
just started. That's
Okay,
only.
ma'am.
Okay. So trade unions were kept under the party control because you know that trade unions, there is a chance that they may go for strike. So they just wanted to be, or Bolshevik party, they want them to be under the control that they did. Another one thing, you can see they appointed some secret police. Secret police in the sense, it's history. They appointed secret police, and this secret police will go among the people and they will see that whether they are talking against the Bolsheviks, whether they are supporting the Bolsheviks. Those whoever is talking against the Bolsheviks, they will be getting punishment. So there they had a secret police. We call it as Cheka. Okay, Cheka was the term they use for the secret police, and later on that has changed. That is changed into OGPU. Again, they changed that into NKVD. Okay, these terms are in their Russian language, so I need not tell that. We need not learn that also. Okay. So here, Russia, they appointed secret police, and if anyone is criticizing the Bolsheviks, they just gave punishment to them. And at the same time, we can see that more and more people are joining the Bolshevik party, especially the young people. Young writers, artists, they were very much attracted towards the ideas of socialism. So they just joined the party, and they were all in their writings, in their drawings, and all those levels, we can see that they started propagating socialism because they felt that there should be a change in the society. So everyone, they were very much attracted, everyone in the sense, especially the young people, they were very much attracted towards the ideas of socialism, because you know that many of these socialist ideas, they talk about equality among the people. So young people, they were very happy with the ideas of socialism. But at the same time, you can see the party encouraged censorship. Censorship, what do you mean by censorship here? What is that censorship? Censorship on the media, Like that, if you tell, what do you mean by that? Censorship. Censorship on paper. Any idea? What is that? Censorship on channel, censorship on media. If you say that, what does it mean?
I'm checking.
Yeah, checking. In the sense, whatever they are publishing, showing, they should get some sort of permission. If they show anything which is against the existing system, or which is against the rules and regulation, they will be getting punishment. So here, censorship, the Bolshevik introduced mainly in favor of them, in the sense, if any, no one should write against anything about the against the ideas of socialism, they should not write. So that also was there. But so everyone was like, why they are doing, why they are keeping censorship. They were a little bit disappointed with that also. Okay. Next one is about civil war. What do you mean by civil war? Anyone? You might have heard about war. What do you mean by civil war? Who can say?
Ma'am, a war between the same side. Between a government or
yeah, war within the country, maybe between the government and people, like that. If a war is there within the country, we call it as civil war. Between the countries, we can say the other world war or anything like that, we can say. But within our country, if there is a war, if there is a revolt or rebellion like that against the government or between the people, we can say that it is a civil war. Okay. Now, there was a civil war in Russia after the October Revolution. There are various reasons for that, why they had, yes.
Ma'am, can you explain what is civil war?
Civil war in the sense of war within the country, between the government, maybe between the government and people. Like that, some sort of rebellion, revolt will be there. Like that, we call it as civil war. Within, among the, or within the country, not between the countries, that we call it as civil war. Okay.
Okay.
Now, so there are various reasons for that. The first thing, what they are telling is, if we are taking the case of Russian army, you know that when socialists came to power, you know, there was a redistribution of land, right? Redistribution of land means what? What do you mean by that?
Land is being distributed.
Yes, land is being distributed to whom?
Ma'am, to the peasants.
To the peasants. So here what happened, Russian army, they started or they began to break up. There is a reason for that, because many of these soldiers, they were peasants. So when they heard about the redistribution, what will happen? They heard that land is getting distributed. So will they have that mind to be in the with the army now?
No.
Why? Where they want to go now? They want to go to their village or rural area where the redistribution is happening, because they also wanted to get land for them. So what they did, they just went home for getting the land and they deserted the Russian army. That is one thing happened. Another one thing during that time, you can see there were some group of people who were not supporting the Bolsheviks. We call them as non-Bolsheviks. Okay, so some group of people were there, they were not supporting the Bolsheviks. We call them as non-Bolsheviks. They were also socialist actually, but they are not supporting the ideas of Bolsheviks. So non-Bolshevik socialists were there, liberals were there, and some supporters of autocracy were there. Who is, what do you mean by this autocracy now? Supporters of whom? Who is that? Supporters of autocracy means what? Who was there in the autocratic power? Who was having autocratic power? The king, Tsar. Okay, so some were there, supporters of autocracy. They condemned the Bolsheviks. They condemned in the sense they talked against, they don't want the Bolsheviks to introduce their ideas in Russia. So what they did, they organized. So they are now going against the Bolsheviks. Okay. Now, Bolsheviks one side, socialist revolutionaries one side, Tsarist, pro-Tsarist, those who supported the Tsarist, another group. So three groups were there during that time in Russia. Bolsheviks, we call them as Reds. Socialist revolutionaries, we call them as Greens. Pro-Tsarist, we call them as Whites. Okay, so they were controlling the Russian Empire. Bolsheviks, they are going to get power only. Okay, one side Bolsheviks are there, and the other side Greens are there, Whites are there. They are the ones who are controlling most of the Russian Empire. And these Whites and Greens, they were supported by French people, American people, Britishers, and Japanese people. Okay, there is a reason for that. Why these people should support these Greens and Whites? Can anyone say why they are supporting them? By the outsider country. They are all, I mean, outsiders like France, America, Britain, Japan, all these are outside. And they are supporting. What is that?
What is green?
Greens means socialist revolutionaries, that group of people.
Okay.
So Greens and Whites, they are supported by French people, American, Britishers, Japanese and all. There is a reason for that. Can you just think of what will be the reason? You know that Tsarist and the socialist revolutionaries, what are their ideas? You know, they are against the redistribution of land. They are against the ownership of government. They don't want the private property, that system to be dissolved. They want private property because those liberals and all, they don't want to distribute their property to the others. So they were against whom? These Reds, that is Bolsheviks. They were supported by France, Britain, America and all, because there is a reason for that. You know that if here in Russia, what is happening? All these things are becoming, or all the ownership is going to government now. So if this idea is spread in Russia, what will happen in other country? What can happen?
Ma'am, can you repeat the question?
See, ideas of revolutionary socialism, in the sense, communist idea. For example, government is taking the ownership of all resources, all industries, everything will be in the hands of government now. So this idea is spreading in Russia. So why these people are afraid?
Ma'am, so it may come into their country.
Yes, these ideas after establishing in Russia, it may come to their country also. So those people are worried. Those rich people, those landowners and all are worried about the happenings that is happening in Russia. They are worried about the developments in Russia. Because if this idea is spread in Russia, you know that there is a chance that maybe next is their country. Their country, this ideas may spread and they will all lose their power and private property, everything will be lost. So they are afraid. So what they did, all these important countries, they supported Greens and Whites in suppressing the Reds, because they don't want this ideas of socialism to be spread in their country. That is why they supported this. Let me show the video. So these are the three groups: red, green, white, and green and whites were supported by which all countries?
French,
Hmm.
America,
America,
Japanese, and
Britain, then Japan. Okay, because they don't want these ideas to be coming to their country. They don't want this to be spread
Ma'am,
in
green
their
and
country.
white supported.
Green and whites were supported by other countries, like what I said: France, Britain, Russia, America, then Japan. Yeah, they are afraid the growth of about the socialism. Now you know that what will happen if there is a civil war between if there is a war in between the government and the people, there will be a lot of casualties will be there, and always you can see that there was a famine, food shortage. It was there in Russia also during that time. So during that time, what they did, one more thing is there. Now, whites, you know that they were having power in some areas, but these white people, what they did, they took strict measures against the peasants who confiscated the land, who seized the land. I told you that in rural areas, what the peasants did. What the peasants did?
They took the land.
Yeah, they took the land of all the landowners, right? Now, those who took the land like that, these white people, they started taking strict measures against them. So when they started taking strict measures, they lost popular support. What do you mean by that? They lost popular support. They started punishing them, in the sense these whites started punishing them, killing them like that. So what will, they lost that popular support. What do you mean by that?
The people started to.
Yeah, people started to hate whom? The whites. Okay, they lost the support of the people. That is one on one side. Another one thing what happened, the Russian, there were some non-Russian nationalities. What do you mean by non-Russian nationalities?
They are not from Russia.
Yeah, they are not from Russia. And there were some group of people, Muslim Jadidis. Okay, these two group of people, they were actually very powerful in Russia. And these two groups of people, they supported Bolsheviks in suppressing the civil war. In suppressing the civil war, in the sense what? They started supporting the Bolsheviks in defeating the other people in the sense non-Bolsheviks. Okay, that means that green and whites. And they were successful in this. And they started telling, in between, you know that even the Bolsheviks, they were doing violence. They were killing people and all. But when they do that, what they said, that they are defending socialism for that. Defending socialism means what now? They want to defending socialism means what?
They are supporting the social.
They are supporting or they are protecting socialism. They are protecting socialism. That is why they are killing these people. That kind of mentality they developed in the society. So sometimes Bolsheviks also, they were very much violent, but they told that, they announced that, or they told among the people that they wanted to protect the ideas of socialism. That is why they are killing these people or suppressing the people. Okay, so like these things happened. So people also, they were confused what these Bolsheviks ideas are now. What are they telling? On one side, they are telling that it's all good for the people, good for the society. They are telling, at the same time, they are doing something which is against the people also. So people are a little bit confused also during that time. Another one thing you can see. So non-Russian nationalities and Muslim Jadidis, I told that they helped Bolsheviks in suppressing the civil war, in suppressing the green and whites. So Bolsheviks are happy now. What they did, they gave more power to this non-Russian nationalities. I mean, they gave political autonomy in Russia. In few areas, they gave political autonomy. What do you mean by political autonomy here? What is autonomy?
The right to govern.
Right to govern. Autonomy they have. So that means in those areas where these non-Russian nationalities are there, they can rule in their own manner. They can govern in their own manner. These Bolsheviks will not come and interfere. Okay, so that right was given to them. Why did they get this right? What's the reason for that? Why they gave this right to non-Russian nationalities? What was the reason?
They supported.
They supported whom? Bolsheviks in suppressing the civil war. Okay. After that, you can see Bolsheviks, they created a Russian empire. That is in 1922, December 1922. So there onwards, you can see they are started taking their policies and all, and they introduced a lot of changes in Russia, and slowly we can see some steps, some policy what they introduced made people unhappy. For example, one what they have given, that is discouragement of nomadism. What do you mean by nomadism? You might have heard about nomads, nomadic people, right? What do you mean by that?
Those who do not live in one
Yeah, those who will not live in one
One
place. They will always move from one place to another. Maybe 2 months they live in one area, then afterwards they will go to another area. Like that lifestyle they have. So they discouraged this kind of nomadism among the people. So some people, they get angry because of these policies of Bolsheviks. Before only, when the civil war was going on, or when the Bolsheviks came to power, they introduced a lot of policies in their country. Okay, a lot of changes they introduced in Russia. What are those changes we can see now? First one, during the civil war also, the Bolshevik kept industries and banks nationalized. Okay. So this we discussed before also. Bolsheviks, what they did, they nationalized the industries and the banks. Second one, what they did, they allowed the peasants to cultivate the land, and they made it socialized. That is a social, it has become a common property for everyone. I'll tell you what it is, that socialist cultivation. They have given a case study. I'll make you to read that, but just we'll discuss this and we'll go to that. So what they did, they allowed the peasants to cultivate the land that had been socialized. So they gave the freedom for the peasants to cultivate the land and take the result, take whatever they get. Another one thing, that is Bolsheviks, they confiscated the land. Confiscated the land in the sense same like seized the land. So what do you mean by confiscated? Seized the land, I told you before. It is the same as confiscated. What do you mean by that?
And they took the power over the land.
Yeah, they took the ownership of land in their hands. And why did they take the land? They wanted to show, they wanted to demonstrate, or they wanted to show how they can do the collective work, how they can perform the collective work. Collective work in the sense, everyone will join and do the work. Okay, so this is another one thing what they did. They kept this industries and banks nationalized. They permitted the peasants to cultivate the land. And Bolsheviks, what they did, they confiscated the lands and showed the people how to do the collective work. Okay. Another one important thing, that is they introduced centralized planning. Centralized planning in the sense, they started to plan for the whole country. Okay, it's not for like planning at the center, state level, nothing like that. They started, or they introduced planning for the whole country. So one sort of planning was there in their country. And what they did for that purpose, they studied how the economy is, and they kept some target for 5-year period. So they kept a target that, okay, within this 5 years, they will make the industry to grow, or within this 5 years, they will make in the agriculture to grow. Like that, they kept some target. And on the basis of that, they started the planning, and they introduced the 5-year plans. Okay, what do you mean by 5-year plans? What do you mean by that, 5-year plans? Plans that are for
5 years.
5 years. So for 5 years, they have planned that they will do this for the development of the country. Like that, they introduced 5-year plans. Have you heard about this 5-year plans before? Yes or no?
No.
Have you heard about it? 5-year plans? No one?
No, ma'am.
First 5-year plan, second 5-year plan, like that. Have you heard?
No, ma'am.
No. In India, we had we are using planning. I mean, we have 5-year plans. First 5-year plan, like that, it was introduced in 1950 onwards. Okay. Actually, we got this idea from Russian country only. Okay. So here, 5-year plans they started introducing in their country. So 5 years, they will concentrate on the development of one particular area. Like that, they introduced 5-year plans. Okay. Now, what the government did, they fixed all the prices. Okay. How the prices are fixed actually? Do you know? How the prices are, how the prices will be decided? How it is? Is it that government is deciding all the prices in our country? How is it? Anyone? Just think and say.
Government will be deciding.
Government
Will be deciding.
will be deciding all the prices. Is it like that? Sometimes you might have heard that sometimes onion prices goes very high, right? Sometimes it is normal. Why is it so? Why in some during some time only the prices are very high for onions?
The shortage of onions.
Very good. Shortage of onion. That time when there is a shortage of onion, what will happen? Naturally, it is less now. So everyone knows very well that even if you increase the prices, all will buy because it is essential for everyone. Okay. So like that, prices will be determined by its shortage and the excess. If it is more and more onions are there in the market, what will happen? What the producers will think?
Prices
They
should be
will
less.
reduce. the
Yeah, they will
price.
reduce the price. Somehow they wanted to sell this.
Sell.
Right. The same thing happens in normally this is how the prices will be determined. Now here in Russia, what they did, how the prices are done now? Is it according to the shortage and excess?
No, ma'am.
Who is deciding here?
Ma'am, government.
Yeah, government started deciding the prices here. Why they did mainly this? They were aiming for industrial growth during the first 2 plans. Okay, so they want industrial growth. For that purpose, they started fixing the prices and all, especially the industrial for the growth of industries here. Okay, now come back to the socialist cultivation. What do you mean by socialist cultivation or collective cultivation? Okay. Dion, are you there? Dion, no. Catherine,
Yes, ma'am.
let's read the socialist cultivation.
The commune
Ma'am.
was using 2
Hmm.
farms as a base. The
Hmm.
commune consisted of 13
Families.
families with a total of 70 peoples. A
20
farm,
persons.
Hmm.
70 persons.
70 persons. The farm tools taken from the farms were turned over the commune.
Hmm.
The members ate in the communal den hall and
Dining hall.
dining hall, and income was divided in accordance with the principle of cooperative
Communism.
communism. The entire proceeds of the members' labor, as well as all
Dwellings.
dwellings and facilities belonging to the commune were shared by the commune members.
Okay, dwellings in the sense the place where they live. Okay, so here a commune was set up. Now commune was set up in the sense I told you that Bolsheviks they were confiscating the farms. Okay, so when they confiscated the farms in that area, they made 13 families to live. Okay, 70 persons were there, and farm tools and all were there. All these farm tools were shared by everyone. All the family members, they used to come and work there. And they had a communal dining hall, in the sense everyone will sit together and have their food. And after cultivation, whatever income they are getting, everything will be divided among the people equally. Okay, here there is no one rich, no one poor here. It is based on the principle of cooperative communism. All are working, everyone will get the result. No one will get a special profit or anything like that. So all are equals here. At the same time, where they are living, they all will have same kind of living area. All the facilities, whatever they have, it will be shared by everyone. It's not that one member of this family will have more facility, nothing like that. So everything is equal here. So this kind of system was set up in Russia during that time. That is what we call it as communal system or cooperative communism. All will cooperate and work together. Whatever money is earned, that will be shared among everyone equally. Everyone will have same kind of houses, same kind of facilities. No inequality in this. Like this, we can see equality was brought under this particular kind of system. Okay, all of you understood how the communal or cooperative communism is working. Okay, no one is having particular facility, nothing like that. All are equal here. Okay, now let me take attendance. Okay, then bye everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Bye.
ma'am.